Hey guys, I'm David, this is David, but more importantly, this is David Durnell, co-owner of RV Wholesalers, and we need to talk about, hopefully, something that we won't talk about much longer.
Yeah.
Hopefully this video doesn't even exist when you watch it, because
Right.
there's no reason for it. But let's talk about COVID and what's going on with COVID and how it's changed the RV industry.
It's one of the most dramatic things we've seen, in all seriousness. We've been doing this over 20 years, and we see where a ton of other people have gotten into the industry. You have your regulars that camp all the time, and
Yeah.
generational campers. You've been to a campground, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about. But
Yep.
there's a lot of other people that are tired of being home,
Mm-hmm.
right? Tired of the lockdowns. They're bored to death, and they're starting to camp because it's one of the things that we're all allowed to do.
Yeah,
But the other thing is, we're seeing a group of people that's the only thing they feel safe doing.
right.
And when this all started, we kind of jokingly said that we were campers were social distancing before it was cool,
Mm-hmm.
because you really do.
Right.
We're in a beautiful fifth wheel right now. You decide who comes through the door.
Yeah.
You decide who sleeps in the bed. You decide who uses your bathroom, and you can keep this thing as safe as you want.
You know who's been here before you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly right. So it's
There's
Probably-
definitely been an uptick.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, and it's caused some issues, and we encourage people just to wait through the issues. You see, depending on the state, but for example, you got guys working an assembly line, and when one guy in the electric gets symptoms,
Uh-huh.
right, then they'll send everyone that was within so many feet of him home
Yeah.
for 10 days. Some states are 7 days now. For 10 days, then there's no one in electric.
Shuts down production.
Yeah, so and we're seeing the same thing at some of the satellite plants, like that build the furniture, or make this faucet, things like that. Same thing, they'll be shut down for a week, 10 days. So it really hampers production, because all of a sudden there aren't any faucets. All of a sudden there aren't any refrigerators. But we keep telling people there's a reason you picked camping.
Yeah.
Stick with it. Let's be patient. They're going to get here eventually. It's caused some delays in parts, and that inconveniences people. But that's where our Buckeye Service Guarantee has really grown in importance,
Right.
because we guarantee people, if you buy an RV and you can't use it, and if this faucet's bad, you can't use it,
Yeah.
right? No refrigerator, you can't use it, then we give you an RV to use at no charge.
Okay.
So that's become very important to people. Our nationwide service network has become even more important to people. But no, people should stick with it. What's really interesting, though, that we've seen is about 93% of the what we call in the industry COVID sales are small units. So people are jumping in, I think, trying to not spend a ton of money, see if they're going to love it, see
Yeah.
if it works for them. And what amazes me is we haven't had one customer yet. We literally doubled our sales last year,
Yeah.
more than double. We haven't had one customer say, "Oh, I hate this."
Right.
They love it.
They probably love it.
Yeah, and it's kind of like when you've been at the campground a few times where we hang out every weekend.
Uh-huh.
And, it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm ready for summer to get back, or spring at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to come hang
I
out
would
with
love
you
to
guys.
sit by a campfire. I'm afraid I'd freeze to death right now, but no, I mean COVID has kind of mirrored 9/11.
Okay.
9/11, everyone kind of rethought life, and let's focus on what's important, right? And COVID's kind of forced us to get to know our families again.
Yeah.
And spend a ton of time together. So I think that it's showing people that, wait, what's most important? Family.
Right.
Where can I enjoy family the most? Camping. You've been with us at the campfires. People don't even have their cell phones out.
No.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's how life really kind of should be.
Right. And I talked to a group of students just a couple weeks ago about finding the silver lining in the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
And for me, it was sitting, especially during quarantine where we couldn't do anything, was sitting around the table playing cards with my
Yeah.
family. I will never forget those times.
How does that bring you so much joy and you weren't doing it?
Yeah. I
On a
know.
regular basis.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a game you have to. Have you ever played Pit?
No,
You've
Is that a
got to
card
find.
game?
If you're home, go find Pit. Yeah,
Okay.
it is so much fun.
All right. Yeah, I will absolutely do it. And this is all because of COVID.
Because of COVID.
happening, that
Yeah.
we learned that. So there is, there's obviously COVID was awful, but as far as like the RV industry, you got people checking into RVing for the very first time, which is going to change their lives.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting this family time. Obviously for
And
you,
they're
sales are
safe.
up. That's good.
Sure.
I mean, let's be honest. That's great.
It's incredible, and the thing is, it's safe.
Yeah.
It really is, and it you control it.
Right.
And in a time when none of us have much control, it's nice to have control somewhere.
So let's talk real quick. I just thought of this. You've mentioned emotional buying before.
Yeah.
Like, especially now that people are sometimes waiting on an RV and they just go out and they spend a little more. Let's hit that real quick.
Yeah, it's really, we're seeing more of it now than we ever have. And what we mean by emotional buying is you want this fifth wheel, for example. It just sold. You've got to wait, 8 weeks or so to get one, maybe a little bit longer. But another dealer has one.
Down the road.
But he's $9,000 more. $9,000 seems to be a number we're hearing a lot right now. So you go down there and you're going to pay $9,000 more so you can get it today. Here's the problem: you have to pay interest on that $9,000. You have to pay tax on that $9,000. And when you go to sell it, you have to find someone that'll pay you $9,000 more for the same coach, where other people are walking around with coaches that they bought for $9,000 less, and they're able to sell theirs for $9,000 less. And I get it. Everybody wants it now, but it isn't worth $9,000, and what we keep telling people is, okay, how many trips are you going to take in the next 2 months?
Yeah.
Right? And most will say, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so if you're taking 3, that's $3,000 a trip extra.
Yeah.
If you're taking 2, $4,500 a trip extra plus tax and interest. It just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And the worst part that we see is then people don't have our service.
Yeah.
And like we said earlier, it matters. It matters way more than people realize. And it's kind of what we have, this huge RVW family, right? Like, I get on all these Facebook groups and talk to people that have bought from us that are, in a Columbus group or a Rockwood group or whatever. And what's really cool is they're literally like family. You know what I mean? We all know each other, and what's funny to me is they're always shocked I'm on there.
Yeah.
Like, why are you on here?
Right.
Well, where else would I be? This is how I figure out if you have an issue that needs taken care of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just funny to me that people are like, why would you be on here? Well, I should be on there.
Right.
We should be.
That's good.
We should be where our customers are, making sure they're taken care of.
That's good.
Makes sense, I think.
All right. Well, perfect. All right. So let's talk about, let's recap. COVID sucks. Hopefully this video isn't even available, or it's pointless as you're watching it right now because COVID's gone. But there is silver lining. That's spending time with family and getting close with family. The best place to do it is in an RV. And you can find great RVs at affordable prices with great service at RV Wholesalers. If you need to know more and you like this, you need to like or subscribe. Like the Facebook, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Let them know, hey, you guys should be RVing and you should get your RV from these guys, RV Wholesalers.